How delusional can the left be? In their determination to keep framing Trump as an evil Russia conspirator, Democrats are blatantly ignoring facts. But, hey, at least they're exercising their creative juices. In the latest attempt to keep their fantasy alive, Elizabeth Warren called for Trump to be impeached, citing evidence found in the Mueller report as her reasoning why. We have to ask Mrs. Warren, what evidence exactly does she think is there? That Trump campaigned in 2016 totally legitimately while the Obama administration and her fellow Dems engaged in unnecessary spying and spending? Is it a crime to Dems to do the right thing? In their twisted world, I wouldn't be surprised. Check out Warren's statement and news of it that is being shared on Twitter. Mueller put the next step in the hands of Congress. Congress has authority to prohibit a president's corrupt use of his authority in order to protect the integrity of the administration of justice. The correct process for exercising that authority is impeachment. Elizabeth Warren, at Warren, April 19, 2019. The severity of this misconduct demands that elected officials in both parties set aside political considerations and do their constitutional duty. That means the House should initiate impeachment proceedings against the President of the United States, Elizabeth Warren, at Warren, April 19, 2019. Just in. Citing details from the Mueller report, 2020 presidential candidate Senator Warren calls for the U.S. House to initiate impeachment proceedings against President Trump, at Vitale, MSNBC, at MSNBC. April 19, 2019. Senator Warren on her decision to call for the House to begin impeachment proceedings. The severity of this misconduct demands that elected officials in both parties set aside political considerations and do their constitutional duty. MSNBC, at MSNBC, April 19, 2019. Many are calling Warren's call to action outrageous, as it is. Take a look at Republican National Committee Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel's response to Warren. At Real Donald Trump was just exonerated after 2 years of Democrat lies. Democrats' calls for impeachment have been bogus all along, but Elizabeth Warren is proving how truly desperate they are to appeal to their radical base. Ronna McDaniel, at GOP Chairwoman, April 19, 2019. Speak the truth, Ronna. Fox News had the following to say. Senator Elizabeth Warren, D.M.S., on Friday urged Congress to begin impeachment proceedings against President Trump, suggesting that the newly released Mueller report had laid out the groundwork for Congress to act. In a series of tweets, the presidential hopeful cited the report as evidence of obstruction of justice and collusion, adding that special counsel Robert Mueller had put the next step in the hands of Congress. That next step? She says it's impeachment. The Mueller report lays out facts showing that a hostile foreign government attacked our 2016 election to help Donald Trump, and Donald Trump welcomed that help, she said in one tweet. Once elected, Donald Trump obstructed the investigation into that attack. Warren went on to cite the report, which was released in full, with redactions, on Thursday. In it, Mueller says that Congress has the authority to prohibit a president's corrupt use of his authority. The correct process for exercising that authority is impeachment, she declared. Mueller's report was released into Washington's partisan scrum Thursday morning. It showed investigators did not find evidence of collusion between the 2016 Trump presidential campaign and Russia, a conclusion reiterated by Attorney General Bill Barr last month and again in the run-up to the document release. NBC News has more. While most fellow 2020 Democratic presidential hopefuls ducked and dived to find safe ground, and party elders solemnly warned against overreach, Senator Elizabeth Warren stepped boldly out into the open late Friday and called on the House to begin an impeachment process against President Donald Trump based on special counsel Robert Mueller's report. The Massachusetts senator and 2020 Democratic presidential contender slammed Trump for having welcomed the help of a hostile foreign government and having obstructed the probe into an attack on an American election. To ignore a president's repeated efforts to obstruct an investigation into his own disloyal behavior would inflict great and lasting damage on this country, Warren tweeted. The severity of this misconduct demands that elected officials in both parties set aside political considerations and do their constitutional duty. That means the House should initiate impeachment proceedings against the President of the United States. It was a rare moment in a crowded and unsettled primary, a seized opportunity for a candidate to cut through the campaign trail cacophony and define the terms of a debate that will rage throughout the contest. With her party torn between its impulses, to avoid the potential political death spiral of a failed impeachment even though it may be popular with the energized base and to hold Trump accountable for what Democrats see as gross abuses, Warren framed pursuing House hearings as a matter of conscience. In other words, she sided with that base of core party supporters, defined its cause in moral terms and hollered the message from the mountaintop. That's classic Warren. And in a period when she's focused her campaign on serious policy proposals, it is a timely reminder to progressives that they like her politics, too. So left-wing biased media sees Warren as brave for suggesting that Trump should be impeached. Well, we have just one thing to say. There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and Warren crossed over to the latter side long ago. You might like previous post previous next post next let's block ads. Why?